Good morning, and thank you for attending ATSU's Alumni Recognition Ceremony. My name is Bob Bainan. I'm the Associate Vice President of University Advancement, and today we celebrate our 50 and 25-year KCOM reunion classes, the classes of 1967 and 1992, those who graduated more than 50 years ago, as well as those alumni who have returned to join us for the 125th year of the osteopathic profession in our university, A.T. Still University. First and foremost, I want to welcome, and I'm going to go around the room here, to my left, our reunion alumni, our CME attendees, our gold medallion members, our KOAA award nominees, our honorees, and also our ATSU students, faculty, and staff. We have several international guests. Our Arizona Staff Council is with us as well as Alumni Association members and our ATSU Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure now to introduce to you Dr. Sean Summerer. Dr. Summerer joined us at the President's staff as Vice President of University Advancement in 2014. In this role, Sean oversees the departments of Advancement Services, Development, Communications and Marketing, Alumni Relations, and the Museum. Please help me welcome Dr. Sean Summerer.
Thank you, Bob. I am delighted that all of you are here. I'm delighted to be here as well on this gorgeous day, and I'm going to, I have to start out with giving a shout out to the state of Missouri and the City Council once again for providing this weather that is just spectacular. I do get to spend a lot of time here, and I don't know how you dial it in, but thank you so much. And it's just been a delight. It's good to see everybody, and I want to thank all of you sincerely for taking time out to join us on our 125th anniversary. Again, we appreciate all that you do for us in all the ways you give, all the ways you contribute, particularly your time and the resources that you give to this wonderful university. And I sincerely thank you on behalf of all. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the president of A.T. Still University and 1984 graduate of KCOM, Dr. Craig Phelps.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Bob. You guys can feel free if you want to kind of just go up there so you don't have to feel like you're looking at the back of my head. Welcome, everybody. What a wonderful time to be in Kirksville, Missouri. The weather is fantastic. More important is the fellowship, and we have a great group of alumni here. And I was in Philadelphia 2 weeks ago for the AOA meeting, and an alum came up and said one of the proudest moments of his life was when he was acknowledged for his 50-year graduation reunion, and he received his medal. He said that was one of the highlights of his life. So thank you for being here and sharing many, many years with us, being part of our family, and being here today so you can provide opportunity for our faculty and staff to meet and talk with you, but more importantly, interaction with our students so they know that the future is bright and that the education that they receive is of great, great value. So thank you very much. When you celebrate 125 years, a lot of things happen. And so we did have a letter from Representative Graves that was actually read into the congressional record, which was read into to the Speaker of the House, Mr. Graves. Mr. Speaker, I proudly pause to recognize A.T. Still University, Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine on their 125th anniversary. And then it goes on and talks about the history and about the university, and this was actually read before the House of Representatives, and so we'll send him a great note of thank you. But when you get into these levels and you get into Washington, D.C., and people realize the impact that we're having at all levels of administration, from the presidential office to the Senate, to the House, and to Hearst and those other areas, we have arrived, and they listen and they seek our input. We also have a letter from you're going to meet a couple other people here. We have a couple other letters. So Representative Blunt also sent a letter. I won't read it, but we'll have it available for those that might. Congratulations on our 125th anniversary. Talks about the history of A.T. Still University and the impact that osteopathic medicine at the university has made on the nation and the state of Missouri. Claire McCoskell from the United States Senate also sent a similar letter. So these folks really do get it, and their staff do understand the importance of the contribution of A.T. Still University, our graduates in osteopathic medicine. But we also have some folks that are here to congratulate us, and I'd like to have Nate Walker, our representative, to come up first. Nate has been a great supporter of education throughout Northeast Missouri and throughout Missouri. We're honored to have him represent us. And yesterday he announced that he'll be seeking the state senate position within Missouri. So Nate is a true supporter of education, and particularly Truman and A.T. Still University. And put 1,000 miles on your car yesterday for your announcement and things. Good. So I will give you that.
Okay. I actually have two presentations. I'm state representative for the 3rd District, so this district covers the territory that I represent, and I'm very proud to represent A.T. Still University. 3 or 4 years ago, Dr. Still was named a famous Missourian, and it was quite an accomplishment. And it was the first time it was the people's choice, and it was the alumni, faculty, and people that understood the contribution to medicine and the contribution to Missouri that got Dr. Still to be one of the famous Missourian designation. Earlier this year, Dr. Wilson and lots of students came to the Capitol, and I was on a panel, and I was able to present a resolution from the Missouri House of Representatives. 2 other representatives who are DOs were on that panel also, and they were upset that I didn't get their names on the proclamation, so we added their names on it, so I'm gonna give that one. But I'm really honored today to represent our governor, Governor Eric Greitens. And Governor Greitens is in his first term, but he's been to Kirksville, and he's supportive of this school. And so he put together a resolution, and I think he's on a trade mission someplace where he couldn't be up here today. But it's my pleasure to present this to Dr. Phelps. And on behalf of the governor of the state of Missouri, Eric Greitens, and on behalf of the Missouri House of Representatives, Speaker Todd Richardson, I've got 2 resolutions, and just honored to be here. And you guys have a good time because we ordered this weather especially for you.
Thank you, Representative Walker.
Yeah, we can get one with this one too. You have it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we'll have these available afterwards. We'll put them up front here on the table, those that like to come by and read these wonderful support documents and proclamations. Mayor Detweiler. So when I first came on board, I think you were the mayor, or quickly became the mayor. I think it was right after I came on board as president. And I was wonderfully treated and welcomed by the city council and the mayor and the leadership in the city of Kirksville. And you know, the two exist together. It's the 175th anniversary of Kirksville, the city of Kirksville, our 125th anniversary, and Truman's 150th anniversary. So we've been partying like it's 1999 the last few months. So it's been a lot of fun, and we've had a great time. But the city has done a lot. Many of you have heard the story when Dr. Still first came. You know, any startup takes investment, and if you're going to start a business today, it takes millions and millions and millions of dollars to get going, right? We hear those stories. We watch Shark Tank. But when Dr. Still came to Kirksville, he had this idea, this concept. But once again, it took a tremendous amount of personal resource, community resource, and the city of Kirksville stood behind him and said, hey, we do believe in this. We think we can see the future. We think this is your home. We think that you may be the best economic development that we've seen since Truman had come when Truman's 4th or 5th or 6th other name first came 25 years prior to that. We think that this is an investment. The people in Kirksville got together and came forward with some funds to keep A.T. Still University and its infant state alive and going and continue to progress. Then several years ago, when we talked about the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health the citizens and the city raised well over $1 million to have the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health take shape and become part of the dream of the university. And so the city has been there all the time. Our students do things in the community. They're well received in the community, but once again, they're treated very, very well by the citizens of Kirksville, Northeast Missouri. So Mayor Detweiler, thank you.
I want to thank everybody for coming here today. When you're dealing with people like Dr. Phelps, it's really easy to come up with big words. You don't want to overdo it, but it's kind of hard not to overdo it. As good a job he and his family has really added something to this university and to the city itself. And for that, we thank them very much. The collaboration between the city and A.T. Still goes back even before A.T. Still University was started. And the people of Kirksville actually, he was running out of money. And he was, why are you going to leave town? And the people of Kirksville collected money to help him continue his business, his education, his dream. And ever since then, we've done the same thing. It's about as basic a dream as you can ever have. And we appreciate the help A.T. Still has given to the city of Kirksville for all these years. I'm going to say good morning and thank you for inviting the city of Kirksville to participate in this historic Founders Day. 125 years ago, Dr. A.T. Still made the decision to establish the world's first college of osteopathic medicine right here in Kirksville, and our entire community has benefited from that decision ever since. On behalf of the City Council, I want to thank ATSU for being such an excellent part of our community, and all of you for continuing A.T. Still's legacy into the future. Now, I also have an official proclamation. Now, I'm going to save you from having to sit there and listen to me talk for a long time. It just reiterates how much you've done for us and how much we've all helped each other. Thank you very much.
Excellent. And these are just gorgeous, beautiful documents that we'll display and then eventually go into the museum. So some very, very wonderful, very unique things. Well, like we said, this is really a celebration of our community, a celebration of our alumni, a celebration of our profession and all of the schools and programs that have come forward since A.T. Still University was founded. And we, the other day we were thinking about the accomplishments. We thought it was pretty ironic that KCOM really spurred the initiative of the School of Osteopathic Medicine in Arizona, right? So not only did it per se inspire or birth many, many DO schools, but one of its direct sister schools in Mesa, Arizona. And then we're thinking about, wow, how did Mosdo get here? Well, Mosdo got here because of the Arizona School of Dentistry and Oral Health, once again inspiring the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health. So you see how that kind of continuing investment in that continuing circle of care and providing health professions education grows the entire university. And when the university grows and is successful, the population of the country continues to get better. Well, we're very blessed with a dedicated board of trustees, and they're tired of hearing me say this over and over again. But when you sign on, and I think we probably have some former board of trustee members here. Did some of you serve on the board? I know some of you did. Yep, Larry for many, many years, Dr. Wickless. Anybody else on the board of trustees? Well, it's not too late. So our board of trustee members come from all different areas in education, healthcare, and business. They provide the well-rounded leadership that helps us decide which direction the university should go. Our strategic plan is signed off and actually contributed to through our board of trustees. The board of trustees, think about this, every 90 days leave their families, their jobs, sometimes their patients, and they have to come to Kirksville, Missouri. Now, that's nice this time of the year, but they also come to Arizona. They have 4 meetings a year, so every 90 days they're getting up and doing this. And they do it, they commit to 9 years. So I give the example, if your daughter is 10 years old, when you start on the board, she's going to be in college by the time you get off the board of trustees. And so you have to think about that impact that that has on the family. But when you have those type of people volunteering their time and paying to do this, right, they pay their expenses and they donate to the university, that tells you that there's something that they believe in, that they feel that they're making a difference in the health care of America. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Gary Wiltz. Dr. Wiltz is here today speaking for Ann Thielke. Ann Thielke is our board chair. However, she could not make it to this meeting, and I won't get into the reason why, but if you knew, you would understand it. But Dr. Wiltz has graciously taken over as chair of this board meeting, and we'll invite him up to say a few words. Dr. Wiltz also educates our students in Louisiana, so he gets to actually see, not only does he hear about it, he gets to interact, and then you actually hired one of our graduates that was at your clinic. Very cool.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning. First of all, I'd like to recognize the other Board of Trustees members that are here. If you'd stand up just for a moment, just to be recognized. There they are. Thank you. And let me just say that it is an honor and a privilege to be on the Board of Trustees of AT Still. And we take it very seriously as a responsibility, and we cannot, and I speak for all the Board of Trustee members, that we cannot communicate to you how proud and privileged we are to serve this university. And I want to congratulate the faculty, staff, and students, because the work that you do. Before we came in here, there were several slides that Dr. Gevitz put up that showed the influence of AT Still throughout the nation. And at some point, I think that would be great to share with the audience. It's a map of the United States, and in every state and territory, AT Still has had an influence. And that's a testimony to, obviously, your founder, but also to the work that all of you have done as alumni. And let me just say, I know it's not an elephant in the room, but that wasn't a misprint on the program. Behind my name is MD. The only reason that there's an MD behind my name is because I was not fortunate enough to be exposed to osteopathic medicine when I was a young pre-med student. And Craig has heard me say this, and I say it before this audience, like I've said it before the national audience in D.C., that had I been given the opportunity, I know that I would have chosen osteopathic medicine, because you will represent the best medicine in this country. And I say that unashamedly. I completely embrace the tenets of osteopathic medicine. You all produce the most astounding students, far superior, and I've mentored medical students from all institutions for 35 years now. But I can say without a doubt the AT Still students are the most prepared that we've ever had, both on the dental side as well as on the medical side. So thank you all again for all the work you do, and enjoy the celebration.
Thank you, Dr. Wiltz. Just want to remind everybody it's a great day, and this evening we look forward to the celebration birthday party, and hopefully I'll get to meet those that I don't have a chance to in the middle of today's board meeting to come by and say hello. But I'll be there tonight, and I would love for you to come up to me and tell me your story, and would love to hear a little bit more about our great alums. So I'll turn this back over to Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Dr. Phelps, Dr. Summer, and Dr. Wiltz. It's my pleasure right now to introduce to you a KCOM alum from 1991. He is also the president of the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association. I'm going to ask Dr. David Goldman to please come forward so that we can now present some of the honorees that were identified by the Alumni Association. So.
It is indeed a pleasure to be here today with all of you, and I see many familiar faces. And to the class of 1992, congratulations on being back for your reunion and the class before. And it is a pleasure to see so many familiar faces here today, and an honor to be here. Each year, the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association recognizes and honors award recipients during the AOA OMED convention, this year held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A few of the honorees this year were unable to attend the Philadelphia conference, and therefore, it is at this time we will recognize these 2017 Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association Award recipients. Detailed information of the entire 2017 KOAA Award recipient panel will be included in the KOAA Honors Excellence booklets, and these will be mailed to all of you at your homes. Each of the following individuals are being inducted as KOAA honorary members. Honorary membership in the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association may be conferred by specific action and approval of the KOAA Board of Directors upon persons who have rendered meritorious service to osteopathic education. As I call your name, please come forward to accept your award. Clyde Evans, PhD. Dr. Evans is an alumnus of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Health Policy Fellows Program and president of CE Consulting in Needham, Massachusetts. Dr. Evans also served on the ATSU Board of Trustees. And I'm not sure if Dr. Evans is present with us today. He's not here? Very good. Please keep that in mind when you see him. Please give him a pat on the back and a handshake congratulating him. Dr. Harold Lawson, DO. Dr. Lawson received his Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree from Midwestern University in Chicago, Illinois in 2000 and completed a family practice residency at the Southern Illinois University Center for Family Medicine in 2003. Dr. Lawson has completed several physician-related leadership programs, including the Certified Physician Executive Program. Thank you. There's more to come, so I appreciate your patience there, Harry, in holding. He utilizes his leadership and osteopathic medicine skills through many roles. Dr. Lawson currently serves as the Chief Medical Officer for the SIU Healthcare System. He is an Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs and Population Health, as well as a professor for Southern Illinois University School of Medicine. He is extremely active in supporting the osteopathic profession at the state and national level, and served as a KCOM Regional Assistant Dean from 2003 till 2007, and as an adjunct professor between 2008 and 2014. Harry, congratulations. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Lawson. Dr. Karen Snyder, DO, and she's not able to attend. We also congratulate Dr. Jevbrot, Marika Jevbrot, who's also not able to be in attendance. So please, a round of applause now for all of our recipients. And I thank you all for your service. The Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association Distinguished Service Award was established in 1991 to recognize alumni and friends of the college and KOAA who have provided outstanding service and or financial support to ATSU KCOM. The Distinguished Service Award recipients: Dr. Tatiana Kondrashova, MD, PhD. Dr. Kondrashova is the Clinical Imaging Coordinator and holds the rank of Associate Professor in ATSU KCOM's Family Medicine Department. Dr. Kondrashova developed the Clinical Ultrasound course for medical students. In this course, she implemented several innovative approaches to teach clinical ultrasound as part of the patient-centered curriculum. Through her dedication to make basic medical education more interesting and engaging for students using ultrasound, she used ultrasound technology as an integrative learning tool that prepares students to deal with complex medical situations more efficiently by building a connection between basic and clinical sciences. Tatiana has been married for almost 25 years to Peter Kondrashov, who serves as the chair of the KCOM Anatomy Department. Together they have a 21-year-old daughter, Maria, who is with us, who is a junior at Truman State University and is a candidate for the Early Admittance Program at KCOM. In her free time, Dr. Kondrashova likes to travel with her family to learn about other cultures. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Kondrashova. I now pass the microphone to our Dean, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. Goldman, and it is truly a privilege today to present the second Distinguished Service Award. And this award is awarded to Dr. Neil Sargentini. Dr. Sargentini passed away on September 28th. He had been a member of our faculty, came to KCOM in 1991, was professor and chair of the Department of Microbiology. For all of us that knew and just loved him, we knew him as such a kind, generous individual, but just truly had the gift of being an extraordinary teacher. I had an outpouring of response at his passing from students that had him, over the decades, and they all reported how much he had touched their lives and inspired them. He was just an amazing teacher, an amazing human being, probably the hardest working faculty member I have ever had the privilege to work with. And we're just so grateful for the service that he gave to our institution, but more importantly to the thousands of osteopathic medical students from our school, and he also taught at our dental school more recently. But all the students he touched, which his effect will have an effect on patients across the country. So my privilege today to present this award. His wife Jennifer's here, and I'm going to ask that his son Michael Sargentini come forward to accept the Distinguished Service Award in honor of his dad, Neil Sargentini, PhD.
The Living Tribute Award. The Living Tribute Award was established by the Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association in 1969 to recognize and honor KCOM faculty members and administrators for their outstanding accomplishments and/or long-term service to the college. Candidates are nominated by the ATSU president and KCOM dean. Final selection is determined by the KOAA Board of Directors. This year's Living Tribute Award recipient is G. Barry Robbins, D.O., FACN, 1970. Dr. Robbins has devoted over 40 years of his highly distinguished career to caring for patients and educating and training medical students, interns, and residents. Currently, Dr. Robbins serves as a professor of neurobehavioral sciences here at ATSU KCOM. He has served as a lecturer at numerous continuing education programs and most recently as a designated presenter for his specialty college. He is recognized as a distinguished fellow by the American College of Neurology and Psychiatry and has participated on many health-related committees and boards. Dr. Robbins lives in Kirksville, Missouri, has 3 adult children and 10 grandchildren with whom he enjoys spending time and attending their numerous sporting events. Dr. Robbins' daughter, Danielle, her husband, Brad, and son, Alex, along with Dr. Robbins' son, Trey, his wife, Jennifer, and 3 children, Mason, Matthew, and Marley, along with Dr. Robbins' youngest daughter, Megan, and 2 of her children, Dakota and Emma, have joined us here today to celebrate Dr. Robbins as he's honored by the KOAA. He had no idea. Dr. Robbins' family surprised him in coming here today, and we are honored to have them all here present with us. And thank you all for coming to help us celebrate Dr. Robbins' accomplishments and achievements. Again, we congratulate all those well-deserved individuals, and please remember that you will be receiving your KOAA Honors Excellence booklet for 2017 in the mail. Again, thank you all for all your service. Bring Bob Bean back up. Thank you. I will pass the baton.
All right, thank you. Well, that's kind of a tough act to follow, but we do have three outstanding deans here on our Missouri campus, and I'm going to ask first Dr. Margaret Wilson, Kirksville native and longtime ATSU KCOM employee, as mentioned earlier, and have Dr. Wilson, she serves as the Dean of the Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine and graduated from KCOM in 1982. Dr. Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and I'll keep my comments brief today because I think I've talked to every group in the room, and certainly you don't want to hear me once again. But you know, my main message today is welcome. Welcome home. Welcome back. You know, we are just so fortunate to be part of this profession and part of this institution and the history that it brings. You know, when I look across the room, I see, you know, alumni, there's students, there's faculty, there's staff. They all represent who we are and what we are, and it's just amazing to think on today, Founders Day, you know, where we've come from. And what a wonderful, generous group of people. I get the opportunity to meet with many alumni over the year, and they're so key to the success of our school and the success of our students. And our students we have the brightest, most, you know, service-oriented, compassionate young people that come to us to, you know, transform into this osteopathic physician. And we're just so fortunate for the good that they go out and do in the world, and the people and the patients that they touch in their lives. You know, I'm here to tell you things are great at KCOM. Our school is alive and thriving. The profession obviously is growing and thriving. And it's due to all of us, you know, that collective all of the osteopathic profession that makes us strong. You you know, I'm a little bit of a, I think they call me a little bit of an osteopathic nerd here perhaps, but each year I try to give an AT Still quote, and I picked one today because it's Founders Day, and we honor our founder, someone who, you know, was visionary and really looked beyond what medicine had to offer for the day, and none of us would be here without him today, but he did not claim the profession. He did not. So I want to read you the quote and what he felt about his role. Today, we remember him on Founders Day. I do not claim to be the author of this science of osteopathy. No human hand framed its laws. I ask no greater honor than to have discovered it. So we are grateful that he discovered it. So welcome back. Thank you for all you do, and please have a wonderful Founders Day.
Next, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Don Altman. He is the Dean at the College of Graduate of Health Studies. Dr. Altman has been with ATSU since October 2006. Dr. Altman graduated from the University of Texas Dental Branch in 1983. He completed his Master of Public Health degree at the University of Texas School of Public Health in 1989 and became board certified in dental public health in 1999. Dr. Altman completed his MBA at the University of Phoenix 2002 and an MA in bioethics from Midwestern University in 2004. He graduated with a doctorate of health science, health degree, March 2012, from the Arizona School of, yes.
Thank you, Bob.
Don, take it away.
Good morning and welcome. I welcome you from ATSU's best kept secret, the College of Graduate Health Studies. I would ask how many of you have heard of it, but some of you would raise your hand and make me out a liar. So I'm not going to ask you to do that. Dr. Wilson said she was going to be brief. Since you don't know about us, I'm going to be here for a while. So sit back, relax. There's really comfortable chairs. I'm going to tell you about the College of Graduate Health Studies. We've actually been around since 1998. So next year we'll be celebrating 20 years of providing online education at ATSU. We currently offer 3 doctorate degrees and 3 master's degrees. We've had about 1,700 alumni, which is quite a bit in 20 years. We currently have about 1,100 students, which is about a third of ATSU's student population. Some of you probably are getting tired of clinical work and you want to come back to ATSU. We have a doctor's in health administration, and we'd love to see you back at ATSU and become a health administrator. Or if you want to teach, we have a doctor's, an education degree. So you got a degree here once, but there's more for you to do. The college has about 25 full-time faculty and about 85 adjunct faculty, and we have students in 49 states and 8 countries. So our reach is really big, though you've never heard of us. But now you've heard of us, and we expect you to either come back or send somebody to us, all right? I have a list of everybody that's here, and I'll be contacting you after the meeting. Welcome and have a good time.
Next is Dr. Dwight McLeod. He serves as our Dean of the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health. He received a doctor in dental surgery degree from Howard University College of Dentistry in 1990, a certificate in general practice dentistry from the Veteran Administration Health Center in 1991, and a Master of Science and a certificate in periodontics from the University of Iowa School of Dentistry in 1994. Dr. Dwight McLeod.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. It's truly a pleasure to be here. I bring greetings to you from the student, faculty, and staff of Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health. I would also like to congratulate our honored alumni from the classes of 1967 and 1992 for reaching this milestone. Thank you so much for carrying out the mission of Dr. Still. You are truly the custodian of his legacy. And at this time, I would also like to let you know, and this is something that I think you'd be proud of, that Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health has come of age in graduating 42 students and having its first 42 alumni to call Missouri School of Dentistry an oral health home and ATSU home. So it's a great achievement, and thank you so much. Thanks again, and I hope you continue to enjoy the Founders Day events and festivities. Thanks.
You want to introduce Claire?
Thanks. At this time, I would like to introduce Claire Nguyen, President of SGA. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Claire Nguyen, and on behalf of Student Government Association, I would like to welcome you to the 125th Founders Day celebration at AT Still University. It is an honor to be among distinguished alumni who have paved the way for us to do extraordinary things. A day like this is very important because it gives us the opportunity to meet with many of you and see some of the amazing people who are a part of the AT Still family. Allow me to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for finding the time to be with us today. So please enjoy campus and take the time to visit with the dental, osteopathic medical, and biomedical students while you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. I'm now going to call Kim Blackman forward. Kim is the Associate Director of ATSU Alumni Relations, and she's going to take the program from here.
Thank you, Bob. So it's now my distinct pleasure, this is the fun part, to introduce to you the alumni who have came back to celebrate both their 50-year class reunions and their 25-year class reunions. Dr. Margaret Wilson will be presenting special recognition pins and medallions to each of the honorees, and we'll begin with the class of 1992. So if I could have you line up along the wall, that would be perfect. Thank you. And as I call your name, please come forward to receive your silver anniversary recognition pin. And pause for a photograph. First, we have Dr. Angela Breckenridge. Dr. Breckenridge. Dr. Breckenridge splits her time between Lake Ozark, Missouri, and also in West Bend, Wisconsin. So she has a long commute from Wisconsin to Jefferson City, Missouri, where she works at the Community Health Center of Central Missouri. She's married to Eric Breckenridge, and Dr. Eric also graduated in the class of 1992 and had another obligation, so he was unable to join us today. Thank you, Dr. Breckenridge. Dr. Tom Burns. Dr. Burns resides in Richmond Hill, Georgia. His specialty is family practice and skeletal medicine and OMM. And when asked about what he remembered most about KCOM and Kirksville, he said walking to school every day with his dog, study sessions at the Dukem, which I don't know how much studying you managed there, lunch at the Manhattan, and lucking out by having a cadaver table near the door of the anatomy lab. Thank you, Dr. Burns. Srinivas, Hajibu, joins us from Sylvania, Ohio. He's a professor of medicine at the University of Toledo, and his hobbies include tennis and running and smiling. I noticed that last night. He has a constant smile on his face. Welcome back, Dr. Hajibu.
Good job, Serena.
Dr. Andriana Hajini Asi from Fort Wayne, Indiana, has practice in family medicine and also OB-GYN. She's board certified by the American Academy of Family Practice, and she's an adjunct faculty member of the University School of Medicine, the Indiana University School of Medicine. She's also hospice board certified and has 2 children. Thank you. Dr. Vicki Hughes from the class of 1992 has joined us from Colorado Springs. Her specialty is family medicine, and she has specific interest in military medical readiness. And she is affiliated with the U.S. Army at Fort Carson, Colorado. She's joined today by her Yorkie Basil. And, and my guess is the Yorkie's in the purse. Thank you, Dr. Hughes. Is Dr. LeBeau with us today? Okay. So next we have Dr. Melissa Nassif-Plah. Dr. Plah enjoys tennis, running, and sailing. She's a member of the AEEP and the AOA. And while she was at KCOM, she served as a student ambassador. Thank you, Dr. Plah. So how about a big round of applause for the class of 1992, our 25-year graduates. Thank you. So now we will go ahead and line up our class of 1967, those who will be receiving their 50-year gold medallions. And I am quite impressed with the showing that we have. I think last night we were counting that we thought we might have 17 here this morning from the class of 1967, which is extremely impressive. And a large part of that is due to the efforts, I believe, of Dr. Jim Mulkey. There you go, Dr. Mulkey identified himself. He, as well as some others, and his dear wife, Jane, spent quite a bit of time calling their classmates and getting them to reconnect. So if we can get all of the class just to line up along the wall, that would be wonderful. And we'll go ahead and begin. Dr. Jay Beckwith joins us from Fort Worth, Texas. He practiced in gastroenterology. And when asked about the people and places that he remembered most, he several times mentioned that he remembered accompanying Dr. Williamson's wife, Patricia, who's also here today, for the birth of her child while Dr. Williamson was ill and not able to join him. So he spent the night in the hospital with Dr. Williamson's wife, and they had a successful birth, and everyone was well. He's accompanied today by his wife, Beth, of 25 years, and Beth has served as the auxiliary president in their state. Thank you, Dr. Beckwith. Next, we have Dr. Ed Bruns. Dr. Bruns began with the class of 1967, and he managed to land himself a spot in a prestigious fellowship and stay on an extra year. So he actually graduated with the class of 1968, but he claims the class of 1967. So we're going to go ahead, and his wife, Dr. Mary Bruns, is here today waving her hand, and Dr. Mary Bruns, 56 years is his wife, and she received her gold medallion last year. Dr. Bruns remembers J.S. Denslow, and he was his biomechanics boss, and Max Gutenson was the internal medicine program director, and he said he could tell hundreds of stories about the two, just these two. Also George Ray in radiology, and all of his good friends, including Malcolm Williamson and Bob Bashan. Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Elodie Eminen. Dr. Eminen has came all the way from Honoka'a, Hawaii. She's practiced in psychiatry, I believe. This says family practice, but correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's adult and adolescent psychiatry and combat psychiatry. So kudos to you. That's very impressive. She and her husband, Rob, who is also in the class of 1967, met here at KCOM, and they are still happily married. He's smiling, so I think that's correct. And she remembers plotting about moving to Portland, Maine for internship after the match with Malcolm Williamson. So I'm guessing there must be a behind-the-scenes story there. She also remembers riding with Bodo on his motor scooter to classes. And as we learned last night, Bodo Pico, who is also in this class, spent his time studying with Elodie until Rob came along. Thank you.
There's a case for your.
And next we have Dr. Rob Eminen, who also is from Honokaa, Hawaii, and has practiced in psychiatry and military psychiatry as well. And when asked about what he remembers most, he said, keeping the car keys for my friend Jack so he'd be safe. So I'm guessing there's more of a story with that too, and the Theta Psi House was involved. And something about a clown costume party. Great partners in anatomy and physiology labs, and crossing and recovering and recrossing the Mississippi on vacations. So
it's about the only time we got out of Kerrsville. We went back to our homes, and so we kept going across the Mississippi.
Gotcha. So they made many trips across the Mississippi to visit family and friends. Thank you, Dr. Eminen. Dr. James Mulkey from Colorado Springs, and he and his wife Jane, of course, were very instrumental in bringing many of the classmates back with us today. And he, last night, told us that he remembers all of his great friends and all of the stories and the fun that they had. And he has been adamant about having a lot of fun while he's here this weekend, and my guess is he probably will. Dr. Gary Satman. Dr. Satman splits his time between Pacific, Missouri and Austin, Texas. He practiced family practice in Pacific for 40 years, 40 plus years, I believe. He has 3 children and 4 grandchildren and is married to his wife, Tony. He practiced as a general practitioner for over 40 years in Pacific, and after he retired, he and his wife decided that they would start splitting their time between both locations so they could spend more of it with their family. Thank you, Dr. Satman. Dr. Tom Sumi. Dr. Tom Sumi has joined us from Edmonds, Washington. He practices in Edmonds and Linwood with his son, Jeff. His son, Jeff, is in the class of 1987, and he's here with us today as well. And Dr. Sumi likes to spend his time playing jazz music, specifically the trumpet, and I understand that he still travels weekly to another town to play in a jazz band. Dr. Bill Swords. Dr. Swords is from Okemos, Michigan. His wife, Cheryl, and he has 3 adult children, Bill, Mike, and John. And he's affiliated with the Multi-Specialty Clinic of McLaren of Greater Lansing. And we're happy to have you here with us today. Thank you. Dr. Bob Timken. I kind of get the feeling Dr. Timken might have been the life of the party. Dr. Timken has shared a picture of his boat that he likes to cruise the Bahamas, loves to scuba dive, and fish. And he eats very well because he eats the fish that he catches, and he likes to bar hop. But he's originally from Bayonne, New Jersey, and part of the Steinbaum-Levine legacy, I believe. So thank you for joining us today, Dr. Timken. Dr. John Tompkins is a retired internal medicine doc from Dallas, Texas. His wife, Kathleen, and he's affiliated with the American College of Osteopathic Internists and the AOA and the American College of Physicians, and he enjoys fly fishing. Thank you, Dr. Tompkins.
That's for your medallion. So.
Dr. Larry Wickless. Many of you know Dr. Wickless. He's been extremely active both at the state level and national level, and he's a past president of the American Osteopathic Association and a past ATSU Board of Trustee member, where he devoted and volunteered for many years to help the university grow to what it is today. His son Scott graduated in the class of 2002, and his wife Carol, I believe, is at home in Sarasota, Florida. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Wickless. Dr. Malcolm Williamson, who we mentioned earlier, that Dr. Beckwith managed to go and spend the time with his wife while she delivered their baby. Dr. Williamson has joined us along with his lovely wife, Patricia, today from Grosse Isle, Michigan. He practiced as an endocrinologist for many years, and he had a father who graduated from KCOM in 1936 as well. He has sons and one daughter, 2 sons and 1 daughter, and one son is an MD and one is a chiropractor. So thank you for joining us, Dr. Williamson.
That's your bag to put your medallion.
So last year, we had a visitor to our office, and it was someone who had not been reconnected with the institution for quite some time, and he had missed receiving his 50-year gold medallion, and his name is Dr. Irvin Pretsky, and he joins us today, and he has his medallion, but he never had the opportunity to have it presented by the college dean in the formal setting. So we joined Dr. Pretsky from California to join us today and receive his medallion. Dr. Pretsky graduated in 1961. He has numerous children and grandchildren with whom he spends much time and is very active. Thank you. And in fact, his activities include, I must share this, being a sheriff, a deputy, I believe, with the LA County Police Department, Sheriff's Department, and he has a quite impressive badge that he carries. Thank you. In addition to Dr. Pretsky, as I mentioned, we have Dr. Mary Bruns with us, who's from the class of 1966. And is Dr. Carl Carlson here? He had registered, but we've not seen him, so I don't think he actually made it. Do we have any other gold medallion members in the room? I guess not. So thank you, and a big round of applause for all of our honored alumni. Thank you. In addition to the class reunion participants, we have several that have came back to celebrate 30 and 40-year reunions as well, and several of our Kirksville Osteopathic Alumni Association members are here. So if I could have all of you in the room stand up and identify yourself, a big round of applause for all of our honored guests. Thank you. Thank you for your service. We have Dr. John Sutton. Looks like we have Dr. Bruce McElhenney and Dr. Sharon Dykstra, and Dr. Jeff Sumi, Dr. Bruce Laronis, Dr. John Thurman. Somebody's hiding back there, Dr. John Kirschman. We have quite a few around this room, but many of those have served on the Alumni Association. So, yeah, Jan Wilcox, I believe, is here somewhere. Oh, she's hid. Thanks for joining us. So again, thank you to all of our KOAA board members, and past and present, because we wouldn't have the thriving institution that we do without all of your contributions, both monetarily and volunteerism. We frequently hear individuals that come to the school and they say that they've had the opportunity as an undergraduate student to mentor or shadow one of the KCOM alumni, or they've been suggested, or it's been suggested to them that they come here for a visit, and that's how they end up here. And we thoroughly enjoy having all of you here with us this weekend and enjoy the next couple of days. Thank you so much.